Please welcome David Basulto. That works. But if you want to get up, you got to use this.
I don't want to get up.
All right, you're going to sit? All right.
So basically, be careful. Moral of the story is be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
All right, well, that's a boring slide, but anyway, we're here at LACPUG. So yes, that was my invention 3 years ago as a lonely high school media teacher. Created this filmmaking case because I had 130 students in my room. We had 5 cameras, 3 broadcast cameras, and 2 DSLRs. It was impossible to get any work done, so I started doodling in my spare time and came up with this design and asked the kids, is this cool, would you use this? And all of a sudden, I'm doing a Kickstarter project, I'm in Forbes magazine, and just things went crazy. So it's been taking off like hotcakes. I always was a big proponent of, let's get these people to tell stories. Don't worry if you're using a red camera or using this or that. Let's just go tell stories. And let's learn how to edit, and let's learn how to do fun stuff like that. And so this is our actually brand new Mini 4 case. The original Mini case was our original Kickstarter. We've been redesigning it ever since, and all I do is tinker all day with all these fun things. Some of my people that are using it, Steven Spielberg up there on the right, on the set of, what's the movie? Bridge of Spies, thank you. All my students who are soccer fans are go nuts over this one, Ronaldo. So I get emails every day, literally from crazy places like Manchester United. Hey, we'd like to use your thing. Oh my God, Boston Celtics use it, Miami Dolphins, etc. That is, I don't know if you remember his name, Amelia. He won a gold medal for gymnastics for the Olympics, and we were invited out to film him, interview stuff if they wanted. So. It's a totally, don't let people say these things are just are just iPads and iPhones, because they're not. They're great tools to use. We just did a recent contest that we had 29 countries participated in, 437 submissions. They were just amazing stories from all over the world, documentaries, narratives. And the one that won was this man that was a school teacher in India that was teaching a school for the blind, and was just able to tell these stories of how he was using his tools, and it was just amazing. And we just were floored, and we gave him a huge gift. Adobe was a sponsor, and other people were, and it was just fantastic. So. Something that you should all take a look at, I made a little hot link for you, is a bit.ly, and then it's LACPUG IP for iPhone, because I'm not very creative or inventive. This guy, Rich Lackey, did this great write-up of, is this a real tool? And he went out and shot some amazing footage. And literally just with the iPhone SE, no lenses, nothing, just went out and shot it. And then he goes through the whole rigmarole, showing you how he edited it, colored it in DaVinci and all this stuff, and he's just like blown away by the results. So highly recommend taking a look at that as well. And then I really wanted to come tonight and just say, hey, I brought a bunch of stuff to give away, and I wanted to go over some of my favorite apps that can help you go out and make some really cool stuff. Filmic Pro we'll go into in a second. It's the go-to camera app, putting your camera on steroids. It's amazing. It's so customizable and cool. If you ever wanted to do a multi-camera shoot, switch your studio, you put 4 devices in your backpack, you go out, sync them all up and we're actually over LTE right now, which is crazy. And you can go do a multi-camera shoot, you can stream to YouTube, you can stream to Facebook, you can do all kinds of stuff like that. Wirecast Go is another one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wirecast or Telestream, ScreenFlow, those apps. So they made a great little app that's $5 that if you just press one button and you're live to YouTube, you can add graphics and do all kinds of fun things. And then of course, Carl took all my thunder with Premiere Clip, so I won't go into that. So we'll dive in, and if anyone wants to contact me directly, that is my Snapchat thing. It's funny, I got just into Snapchat because of the students. I always thought it was a stupid tool, and the next thing I know is earlier this year I'm getting flown to New York for this big conference. I'm sitting next to Google and Apple and all these people about how I use Snapchat for customer service. So when people have questions, they just send me a snap and I'll answer it really quick with a quick video, or this is how you add this microphone, or and it's just been a great little tool to interact. So if you really want to get in touch with me, that's the way to go. I answer them every day. All right, so we'll jump over to my lovely iPhone. So here's Filmic Pro, and everyone looks really weird and squeezed, and that is why, because I have an anamorphic lens on my iPhone, and I'm going to fix that in a second. But Moondog Labs, I don't know if you guys have heard of the anamorphic lens that they make, but the movie Tangerine was shot with it. Bentley commercial was shot with it. All these, anything that's been out there has been shot with things like this, with this anamorphic lens. It's amazing. It's my favorite lens in the world. And so I'm just going to go into that little gear icon really quick, and I'm going to fix this. And inside here you'll see there is a hardware button and Moondog anamorphic adapter. I'm going to make sure that that's on. And so now we've got our nice squeeze there, gone away. Going from left to right on the bottom there, I've got my white balance. Next to that, this little square here is my focal point. Maybe it's better to look this way. This is Filmic Pro. Filmic Pro. And I believe it's $4.99 right now. But I mean, for what you can do, it's ridiculous. So here I can go right here and lock my focus right there by pressing the red. I can move around my exposure levels, although there's not much light to play around with in here. But this thing moves my exposure levels and I lock it. In the middle here, I can see my frames per second. I'm at 24 frames. I can go up to 4K, 30, 24, whatever I want. If I press the button here, I get my histograms. So I can do some fun stuff there. And then across the top here, if I press that little down arrow, I've got all this menu. So now I can go into my audio here. Incidentally, this is the only app that is out there that lets you monitor live audio as you're filming. So that's right there in itself is vital. I can change the gain controls here, of course, and do all kinds of stuff like that. Get out of this for a second. I can get my grids here. Where are they? Oh, you can barely see them. My grid lines. There's an anti-shake thing. If I click here, it'll take you to your user guide. You can flip the camera around. And then the far right here, you've got your zoom. So now I can zoom in, zoom out. And then those little dots in between the zoom, the plus and the minus, are presets. So if I wanted to say, okay, I'm going to go to this area, I can set a preset that's there, so I know that's my next, if I have it all set up to film something, So that's kind of fun. A lot better than your little camera on the iPad, right? Or the iPhone. So that's that menu. And then when we dive in here, we'll go back to the top here. Whoops. Here's our resolution. So here I can change, we'll go into 4K. And I can go up to 100 megabits per second. So you better have a big drive on your phone or you're doomed. And then I can change the frame rates there up to 30. And here's my audio. So right now it's listening to the audio that's coming out of this jack down here. Let me see. Let me just get that. There's the headset jack. So this is a Rode Video Mic Me, and it works with our cases, only the iPhone cases, but it sits right here, and in the back of it, it's got a plug where you can plug in your headphones, and now you can monitor the audio. It's a great sounding little condenser mic. It's $59, I think, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's dirt cheap, and it sounds great. You can choose to go, video only. You can enable gain, voice processing stuff. So lots of configurable things. The device, do you want to save it to the camera roll? Do you want to stitch footage? Preview active. And let me just show you something I love. You don't need anybody anymore. You just need your phone. You need Filmic Pro. And then, and if it hopefully works in here, there we go. On my iPhone, I got my preview. I mean, my iWatch, I got my preview there. So I can set this up, go walk away, and make sure I've got my wireless microphone.
This is with
This is with Filmic Pro, and now I can see, okay, am I lined up for my shot good? Okay, boom, and I'm doing my thing. So you no longer need anyone to help you do anything. There's no excuses. I can control the phone from my app right here on the Apple Watch. I have my video preview, and they're actually working on where you can change the exposures and all that stuff. So there's more. This is like the first generation of this. Whoops, sorry. And you know, I love it. Especially if I'm going to conventions and walking around and want to shoot a little footage of interviewing someone that's making something cool I might want to sell on the website. I don't need anybody more. I just like bring 2 or 3 people, and it costs me an arm and a leg. Now it's just me. So I love that. So there's that. Okay, let's go back in. We were at audio, device, presets. So you can get the exposures, the focus, everything all set up, save it as a preset. I have several of them on my iPads because I shoot in my garage. I have like a green screen set up, and I do some Facebook Live stuff and all that. So I have it all set up the way I want it. And then here we go into hardware, and you saw the Moondog Labs. Well, and it'll do a D-squeeze only too. So you can, for the preview, I should say. So then you can still get the full frame if you want that. Where you see this N Cinema turtleback flip. Let me just jump out of this for 1 second. Go into my camera roll. Hopefully there's nothing embarrassing. And this is what I was playing with earlier. So that is that mini, and that is a adapter called the Tourniquet adapter, $170 I think it is. And then I've got a Rokinon 85 millimeter prime lens on there, and we're doing a bunch of footage tests with it, but it's gorgeous. It's ridiculous, yeah. It's a depth of field adapter, and what it's doing now is it's bringing in the image, and you literally have to use a Filmic Pro type of app because it'll flip the image over inside and give you the right image that you need. And it's just gorgeous, and I didn't bring any footage because I literally just got it all set up today. But this is a nice little tease for you guys. And that's it right there.
What do those adapters retail?
175, Mia? Yeah. By the way, Mia, my head of sales, if you want to bother her. Plastic, well, so inside of the cases here, if you haven't seen, there's a metal ring, a brass ring that holds it in tight. So that was from trial and error and evolution. So so that's that.
Are you using Filmic Pro or Filmic Classic? One's $9.99, one's $99.
Filmic Classic is no longer supported by them. I think I don't even know why it's still in the App Store, but it's Filmic Pro, the regular one. How much was it? $9.99?
$9.99.
Oh, it was $7. It was $4.99, then it was $7, and now it's going up in price. But imagine that we're complaining over $9. It's like, right? I mean, it's funny that we used to spend how much on all these things. That's right. Hey. So anyway, so now it'll have me flip that. If you're using the iBlazer, which is an LED light, it'll sync with that. All kinds of toys in here, and then they have a purchase gear page with all their favorite stuff, and luckily we're on that. And then the community and stuff like that. And then we'll go, I was outside shooting some fun stuff earlier. And in the Pokemon Fest, I was doing a little Pokemon thing. And I really liked, where did it go? I had fun following Mia around. And that's in 4K. And she should start walking. But I mean, you can kind of see that you can get cinematic, right? I mean, it's just fun stuff. And I'm telling you, this lens is 175, the anamorphic lens that I have, but it's worth its weight in gold. So that's Filmic Pro. Is there any questions I can answer about Filmic Pro before we go into crazier things?
How far will that lens go back?
For the anamorphic lens? Let's see some of the footage. I actually shot the Hollywood sign. Let's see, where is it? So that was the Hollywood sign earlier. Blows up pretty good though, right? Yes, sir. What was it? What was it?
Oh, none whatsoever.
Oh, I mean, honestly, having been a Red Scarlet owner, where the workflow is really different, it takes a time intensive to do all that. The fact that we're in this world now where people are watching Instagram video and Vines and Snapchats and YouTube, and my 8-year-old, all he does is watch that. We're going to get these great stories and this great, this is time, this is speed. You can get this stuff done, edited, and put up there to the world right away. As far as resolutions and stuff, it's just getting better and better all the time. I wish I had my new cases for the Pro 9.7 inch that shoots 4K video now as well, and that's gorgeous. So now I can put 4 of those in my backpack, have a 4-camera multicam shoot, and all in 4K, and bring it back in. If you use the Filmic Pro kind of app, where you can get that kind of bit rate, the 100 megabits per second, I mean, I would rival it with bringing in some kind of ProRes or something, It looks gorgeous when you start to edit it, and it works great in Final Cut, it works great in Premiere. So I'm just psycho about it, so so I really haven't had any limitations yet. There was some limitations with audio early on, with things connecting correctly, but the big manufacturers from Rode, Sennheiser, they've all come on board and started to really make stuff for that. I would say, lenses, it's very limited right now for basic lenses. We make our own wide angle and telephoto lenses, so that's kind of the basic of it.
You make your own?
We make our own lenses now, yeah. The anamorphic lens is the other lens, and then we're playing around with the bigger lenses as well, but of course that's not for everybody. I mean, that one lens was $400 that I was playing with today, so not really for the masses. So I would think that we do a lot of stuff with pro sports, with college sports, and they're asking us all the time for a 10 times lens. They want to shoot stuff, up from the stadium boxes and stuff. So those, I would think that is more the limitations than anything else right now. Audio's great now, and then the images now are just turning up better and better. Yep.
When you use an auxiliary lens, do you remove the lens that the camera comes with?
No. It just kind of goes over it, and it just sits on top of it and gets the image out there.
So there are no limitations associated with the native lens?
No, it just needs to be the right length from the other lenses, so there's that. But other than that, everything works great. Yes?
Way to zoom, like I've had issues with zooming, just looking like crap.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, especially you're pinching, it's like, the problem with that right now is that there is, every app is different that talks to the device, and so there's so Bluetooth's not working correctly on, like I have we use a great teleprompter app called Teleprompt Plus, and there's a really nice little Satachi, I think it's called, remote, and it'll start and stop and rewind, and it's great for using that app. The only other thing it works with is the Apple camera for starting and stopping. That's it. So and we've kind of tinkered around with, like, should we put buttons in our thing that would zoom in and out, but until we can get a universal one that'll work with all the different apps, it's just not there yet. I think I would like to see it for sure. That's absolutely something we want.
Do you know if there's an app where you can actually like dial the sensitivity down in the zoom so that you can, it doesn't go wrong?
The only thing I can tell you is, you saw the zoom here where you can kind of push in really, yeah, we can play with that too. I'll show you that one really quick. By the way, we didn't go over this yet, but you can cut inside of Filmic Pro. You can go in here and change coloring if you want to, all kinds of stuff. And then you can downsize it to a smaller, downsample it, etc. So there's all kinds of other little tools there, but we go back up here. So here, let's see. We go over here, and then we'll just press it. So it's a nice, smoother kind of zoom.
Sure.
Still might be a little too fast for somebody, but it's a better option than pinching, But yeah, that's something that's definitely gonna come in the future, hopefully. Yes?
About image quality, is there a difference in image quality
The iPhone's always going to be ahead as far as the camera and everything. They did really just, it makes me wonder what's going to come in iPhone 7 because the iPad 9.7-inch Pro literally has the camera that the 6 Plus has, and it's great. But they always kind of tease us, like, here's this one, these will come later, so you got to keep buying those, you know. But the iPhone's always going to have the better one, in my opinion, yeah. Anything else? Oh, yeah, yeah.
The use of, as he says, auxiliary lenses, I think is what the biggest challenge is to make something look cinematic with the depth of field and everything else. So you played with the larger lens. Does it seem to have good results?
Yeah,
The
in
Filmic
fact,
Pro, like the focus or follow focus?
yes. So I haven't had any follow focus stuff, but as far as I was playing with the 85 today, and my wife was, I don't know, 6 feet away, and we were racking focus back and forth, and it was amazing. I will say they need fast stops, and they need a ton of light. If you're shooting in here right now, we wouldn't get a very good image, lots of dark edges and things like that. The lens that we had a 1.5 or 1.2 stop on it, so it was amazing. And I was blown away because I had originally bought one, and we were going to start selling them, and I used my old Canon 50mm lens, and I think it was like a 2.8 stop or whatever. And it was cool, and I was getting that depth of field, but I was getting these like dark edges, and I was like, this is not what I want, you know. And then I said to this guy, look, we love your product, but can you help? There you go, yeah. Do you have, we need a fast stop. And so he recommended these are the ones to go with, and so I just ordered them, literally got one today. And the one I actually got, I was going to bring it tonight and dazzle you guys, but it had a little bubble in the glass, so I'm like, send it back right away. So we get a new one, and I'm going to do a whole, if you guys follow us on Facebook too, I'm starting to do this whole Facebook Live thing and demos and things like that. So it's pretty fun, but that's kind of that, yeah. What's that? Facebook, it's iOgrapher. iOgrapher on everything, you'll find us.
Quite frankly, I don't see the great little stories coming out of students and beginners, and things like that. You're closer to it. Do you think, where are the places where these stories are being told? And do you see great little stories coming out of the technology?
I loved doing that contest I just did because it really opened, for one thing, when I first started this and I was teaching, my kids were doing all these great little videos, and it was a great time for storytelling from them. They were getting way more things done, fun little narratives, music videos, all kinds of fun stuff. So we were having a great time doing all that. But when I really did this worldwide competition and saw these people in all these other countries, especially some of the lower income countries, and this is their only tool that they can get their hands on. But they had these great stories to tell. This one, I don't have it up right now, but he was from an African country. He told the story of how they didn't have gymnastics anymore. They took it away because they didn't have the money for it. But he was still training to go to the Olympics. And so it was a documentary on him going to this place that was makeshift kind of gym out in the dirt. And he was doing, he made his own, I don't know what they're called, the tumble things or gymnastic stuff. So he was doing all these things, and it was slow motion. And it was just a great story that if we didn't have these kind of tools, we would never have seen a story about that, you know. So that's what I love about that people have these in their pockets. I'll give you an example. In the Celtics, they started using our gear because they're doing fan interaction stuff where they'll go out there and film during the games, and people are not like, oh my God, what's this big camera in my face, you know, and lights and everything. It's just a little iPad, and we're just talking, and then they're able to go up there and throw it up on the Jumbotron and, you know, do fun stuff like that. The BBC uses it all the time. In fact, one of our McCulkey, I'm sorry, I don't know his name offhand right now. He's a big BBC journalist. And he loves to go to all kinds of countries in the EU, and he just did a big series on CEOs he was interviewing, and all done on this device with our products and stuff. He just says it's just handy, it's easy, that's not, you know, I don't have to lug all this equipment around, and it's getting the quality that I want, you know. So it's a wide range of stuff that I'm seeing that are starting to come about, you know. I think we need to have more feature kind of films. I mean, Tangerine was a great one that people made, you know, so. And if you guys have ideas out there, we're always looking, and you know, we would supply equipment and help you guys out and stuff. So think about that, you young filmmakers. We're gonna go in Switcher Studio. I'm gonna use it as a switcher. So I'm gonna connect my iPad down there. That's one of these. In theory, it's gonna connect, and there you are. I'm gonna connect the other iPad there. Just for giggles, we'll even throw this one on too. Switcher. So we're going all over. I have it on the LTE right now. What I love about this is that you can use LTE, you can use the Wi-Fi, of course, so here we go. We got 3 cameras. I can switch in between them. I can go live. Pressing there, I can go in here and do picture-in-picture stuff if I want to. And we'll go live there. I can move this
When you
around.
say go live, where is it going to be?
Okay, so I should talk more about that. So Switcher Studio was the offspring of an app called Rico Live Multicam that came out years ago. People were shooting little skateboard videos with it and stuff, and it was made by this guy in Switzerland. And these guys in Tennessee, these smart young guys, came out and said, "We love your app. Can we do more with it?" And they licensed it and created Switcher Studio. What you can do with it is you can put up to 4 different devices. You can go out to big screens like this and have it your convention. You want to talk and do a multicam. You can go to Facebook. So I can go over here. I'll just go through this really quick. Here I'm in my. Here's where I put all my cameras in down here, and it'll let me do all that. Here I can go into what's called director mode, which I have on right now, and what that's going to let me do is not only when I'm switching here is it going to go out live and record a hard copy of the event that's switched on here, I'm also recording hard copies on my devices. So I can bring those all in later and do another multicam edit in Premiere or whatever I want to do.
You don't lose anything.
So I don't lose anything. So maybe my switching was horrible and I want to redo that. Oops, sorry. We're going to go in here. You have all your effects that you want, your transitions, etc. In here you can mess around with the focus and all that stuff. Here you can bring in your audio. They're going to come out with a new setup where the audio, you can choose which different device you want to have it. I just recently used it for a multi-camera shoot where I had this plugged into an Apogee Duet. So that's an audio interface, and then that went into the soundboard of the place that we were at. So that was my audio source, and these were just my cameras. You can, of course, you can add graphics in here. So we're gonna, oops, I'm gonna leave that in there. And where is it going now? Oops.
It's like you could have lower thirds.
Lower third, you can create your own lower thirds, bring it in right here, bring in all your different lower thirds, and do all that kind of stuff. And then
What was the name of this app again?
this is called Switcher Studio. And here I can go in here, you can create your own custom rtmp channels if you want to. So we used to do this, we used to stream live from this to a place called The Cube when I was teaching high school, and we were doing a multi-camera. We had ridiculous, San Marino High School, if you guys know San Marino, very affluent area. They had a ridiculous Wi-Fi in the stadium, and so we were able to tap into it. And I would be up on the top of the stadium with a wide shot of the game. We'd have another kid up there with a telephoto lens, and then I'd had 2 kids on iPad Airs running the sidelines. And they all had headsets on, and one guy was a director, and they were like, "Okay, zoom in on that," you know, and it was just ridiculous.
And nothing is cable.
No, not one wire anywhere. Yeah. So, and that was amazing. And then, you know, of course, here, so you're in these parameters when you get to this, when you're broadcasting. If I was on my LTE right now and I wanted to go out to Facebook Live, I can do a speed test right there. And maybe it's not strong enough, so I might change the video resolution down. And if I want to go even higher, you can go up to 720 on this. And then, where is it? Here's where you go into Facebook Live, so you just connect with Facebook right there. And where do you want to go to a page, to a group? You can have your own, private group going on. We can have our own LACPUG, Facebook thing going on, and boom, you're out streaming right there. You can also go out to YouTube. I don't know if they have a setting for that yet in here. They used to. There you go. So YouTube, you can link your account there for that. They have a desktop presenter kind of app as well, so I can have my laptop here, and Michael, who's kicking me off, can go right here and say, here's our laptop, and we can present. That could be one of your inputs as a camera, so now you can go through. Carl can show you how to use Premiere Pro as we're streaming all this and stuff like that. Yes?
Can you use your iPhone hotspot LTE for any devices that aren't able to connect to cellular?
That's what I'm using. So this iPad Pro, I'm using as a switcher. It's got my LTE, and these are all connected to that as a hotspot, and they're bringing the image over. So that's how you make it work.
They use these at NAB for switching live with all these interviews that they're broadcasting all over. The thing is amazing. It really is, and it's cheap. Thanks, Dave Basulto.